So, have you ever been to Cameroon?
No. Yeah, the questions you start the show off with sometimes. No, I've never been to Cameroon.
Do you know where Cameroon is?
Yes.
Where is it?
It's over there.
Where?
It's right over there.
Where?
I'm not good with geography.
Over there.
I'm going to guess Africa.
Oh, yes.
That's solely a guess.
Okay. So, Cameroon is between what two countries in Africa?
Why are you doing this to me?
Because I know you love geography.
Ethiopia? You have to check. You don't even know.
All right. Okay. It's true. I did not know. I did not know where Cameroon was.
All right.
I had no idea where it was.
I know they have a pretty good soccer team. That's all I know about Cameroon.
I looked it up. It's in between Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea.
Oh, good. That just rolls off the tongue.
And if I wanted to fly there, it would take 22 and a half hours.
That's why I don't go to Cameroon. Too far.
It's very far. Cameroon's very far. Population is roughly 28 million.
Okay.
So you might be saying to yourself, Kim, why are you talking about Cameroon?
I've already asked that out loud. I didn't even say it to myself.
Okay. Well, here's what happened. About, maybe a year and a half or 2 years ago, Ian calls me and he's all ticked off, mad.
At Cameroon?
Somebody stole his AirPods Max, the headphones. Okay. And then he has Find My on the headphones. And then he says, they're in Compton.
Okay.
I'm like, Compton? And he's like, I'm going to go get my headphones. I'm like, no, you're not going to.
You might not want to.
No. And it's, just let the headphones go.
I'd rather go to Cameroon before I'd go to Compton.
Well, funny you should mention that. Because what popped up on Ian's Find My Friends and Find My Devices is this photo of his headphones are now in Cameroon, Africa.
So they stole the headphones.
In Los Angeles.
Sold them to somebody.
In Compton.
And then they mailed them all the way to Cameroon.
And so he did notify Apple. It says, lost my device.
Right.
But apparently they must have some type of workaround because his headphones are still working.
They're still showing up there in Cameroon?
In Cameroon.
He should just beep them nonstop until the Cameroonian people just go crazy.
He should, you know what? He should do that.
Because
That would be
can't
funny.
you do that? Find my device and it's like.
I did that this morning.
On his AirPods?
No, to Ian.
Oh.
See, if I want to talk to Ian, I know he's sleeping. He's just this kid can sleep through anything.
Right.
I mean, like hurricanes, earthquakes, me screaming. It doesn't matter. Okay.
But the phone?
But the phone, not the phone ringing. The phone like going womp 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 womp. That wakes him up.
You're so sweet.
Hey, you know
You're
what?
So kind.
It is nice of me to do that.
Yeah.
And make sure that he doesn't oversleep. I don't want to be late for work.
Oh, you literally were doing it to wake him up?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were just being a jerk.
You know what? That is out of line. That's
Okay.
out of line.
Maybe out of line, but it was accurate.
So Africa.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about going to Africa next year.
Just to go get those headphones back?
No, I'm not going to Cameroon. I'm going to go to Rwanda, the Serengeti, and then Johannesburg, Victoria Falls, in Kenya.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might do that. But they have like big mosquitoes in Africa.
Okay.
Big mosquitoes.
Do you ever research? Because I really want to go to Australia. I listened to a radio show out of Australia. I love the culture. I think Sydney is beautiful. And then I started researching it, and I found out about huntsman spiders and these drop gorillas, like these little bears that drop out, these magpies that attack your eyes.
You don't want to go there.
I'm like, maybe I'll just go back to San Diego.
But you need to get a whole bunch of shots rather, if you go to Africa.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of shots. I mean, because the mosquitoes, they go like, it's a me, malaria.
For a reach. Such a reach. Do you ever just go, nah?
No, because I'm like, that is so funny. It's a me, malaria.
That's Italian.
Okay.
It's not even African.
Oh, well, there was a little bit of a disconnect.
That was a good one. Could see it coming a mile away. I always see it in your eyes.
Well, that's good. I'm glad, because this way you can prep yourself for the intense laughter that is coming.
The hilarity ensues.
See, the people that don't watch,
yeah,
they don't see this.
They don't know.
As they're just walking along, all of a sudden they just burst out in laughter.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm just so funny.
So funny.
So,
you should take it on tour.
People have asked me that.
Not one person, except for your husband, just because he wants you out of the house.
Is you think that's why?
Yes, absolutely.
On that happy note, welcome. I'm Kim Komando. Yes, you're just a funny person, all around great gal. What do you think?
Great gal. I actually had a conversation with someone at work. I work for iHeartRadio, co-host the morning show on 99.9
On one
KC.
station.
Yes. Yes, on one station, a singular station, Monday through Friday.
Yes.
I mean, I'm on every day of the week in drive time.
Oh,
But anyway,
ouch.
so I have a coworker, and his name is Grant, and I'm walking down the hall. And he's like, "Oh, you're wearing fancy shoes today. What's the occasion?" Because normally I dress like a slob. And I was like, "Oh, I do the Kim Komando podcast. It's on video. I try to look nice." And he's like, "Kim Komando, you know what's funny? I got into a deep dive of Kim Komando like 3 months ago." And I was like, and this is 100% true.
Okay.
And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I used to work at a funeral home when I didn't live in Arizona, and I would listen to AM radio all the time because that's all we could get in the wherever the dead people are in the funeral home, and I would listen to her every single week. And I hadn't thought about her until like 3 months ago. She's really good looking." 100%, he said that.
Wow.
And then he said, "I see you guys doing all the reels on the internet there, and you're doing a great job." And tell Kim I said hello. So
What's
Grant
his-
says hello.
Grant. Oh, hi, Grant.
Hi, Grant.
You
I
know
told
what?
her.
And see, here's the thing about Grant. Grant is going to tell one person.
Yeah.
He's going to tell at least one person about the podcast, about the newsletters, the shows. And that's what we need. We need everybody to tell like one person, just one person.
It's like Avon, but for the internet age.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And, and over the weekend, I in our newsletter, I just put a little line there saying, I'm trying to break 100,000 subscribers to our YouTube channel.
Right.
So like in that one day, I think we got like 1,500 subscribers.
Yeah, I was like, it went from 86,000 like to 82,000 overnight.
86 to 82?
Yeah. No, 86 to 87. I apologize.
I was going to say.
Yeah, you lost a bunch of people right
Okay,
after that.
so you're not good at geography.
Right.
You're not good at math.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Not a good dresser.
Not a good dresser. Are you a good dancer?
No.
Okay. Ladies, he's got a lot of money. Let's just say that.
The quadruple no threat.
I mean, your middle name is Rockefeller. Let's just say that.
be.
All right. So what do you got coming up?
We may have the world's nastiest app.
Ooh.
It's so mean, but it's
Horrible.
working. And they're doing it on purpose.
Are they?
Yes.
For money?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Get money out of you.
Okay. And then so aside from one person, you have to do your whole plea about like, comment, share,
Yeah,
follow.
If you are watching on the YouTube page, just drop us a comment, follow the page. Again, like we said, we're trying to get to 100,000 followers. We're only 13,000 away. So you and 13,000 of your family members, if they did it today, we would hit 100K. No, just share the podcast, send it to someone you like, drop a comment, and like the page.
You know who we need to ask to do this?
Who?
It's Kitboga.
Have him follow and like the page?
Yeah, and we need to have he needs to tell all of his 3 million followers about us.
It wouldn't hurt.
I mean,
We can shoot our shot. All he's going to say is no.
yeah, maybe I could like pretend to scam him.
Yeah, because he falls for those scams all the time.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? I was having dinner with my friends from Lithuania the other night. This is not a joke. You're looking at me like this is a joke.
Waiting for
okay,
it.
it's not a joke.
Is the punchline Schergen, Vergen, Bergen, Durgen?
And Ericus actually said, and he says, "Oh, I loved it when Kitboga was on your show." And I was like, "Really? I'm going to tell Kit about that." I mean, here he is all the way in Lithuania.
Watching the Kim Komando Today podcast.
Amazing. All right, so let's get started with some things you need to know that's happening in the tech world. I'm going to start with a little item from the I'm China, get in your pants.
Okay.
Because here's what's going on. Of course, TikTok has already been banned.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a countdown clock going?
Yeah.
Are
it's
we
like
reaching that point where, like Apple's going to find $1 trillion every single day if it's still in the App Store?
something like that?
Right.
Yes. But everybody's like, well, I think they're too busy with the presidential election to worry about TikTok right now.
Okay, that's
So it's
fair.
like, we have bigger things to worry about than the communist China just grabbing everything.
Priorities.
In all of Americans' lives. So this past week, the House of Representatives said, okay, we are going to ban ByteDance. ByteDance.
Okay.
Okay. So ByteDance is the maker of TikTok.
Right.
Okay. And the reason why is that when ByteDance got wind that TikTok was getting banned, is that they said, oh, we have to come up with some new apps. And so the new apps are CapCut, which is of course, the video editing tool.
Wait a minute. They own CapCut now?
Yes. Okay. HiPic. Do you use that one?
Nope. I use CapCut.
Lark.
Nope.
It's a collaboration app designed for work.
Sounds boring.
Not a problem. And Lemon 8.
Nope.
Okay, but CapCut is there. So they're saying that, now that TikTok is banned, now you can't use anything from ByteDance.
So they're going to ban all of those apps?
Yes.
That's not good.
Yes.
CapCut is very good.
Here's a short list of everything that, if you're using these apps, that is being sent to China.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is just the short list. Okay. Your name, your age, username, email address, your password, your phone number, and your location at all times.
Okay.
Your IP address, your time zone, your phone make, model, operating system, your facial ID and your voice print, the content of your messages, plus exactly when you send, receive them, anything that you buy, your activities on all other websites and all other apps, including anything that you buy, file names and types on your computer, your keystroke patterns and your rhythms, objects and scenery that show up in any of your videos that you may be taking, the websites you visit the most and how you interact with them.
This is only a 45-minute podcast, right?
It goes on and on and on and on.
I was fine with all of that until you got to keystroke rhythm. China doesn't need to know my keystroke rhythm, okay? Back off.
Bung, 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 bung,
Exactly. Misspell a word, back it up. Misspell a word, back it up.
Speaking of TikTok, there's a new viral trend, like tens of millions of views, on how you're supposed to sit on an airplane.
Okay.
Okay. So you know how you get on the airplane. Here, let me put my little iPad down. You get on an airplane and you sit like this, right, on the airplane?
Sure.
Okay. Can't really cross your legs on an airplane because
it's not a ton of room.
No. So you just kind of sit there, and then you have the person here next to you, and you're like, my armrest.
Right.
Okay. Or what I like is sometimes I'm sitting next to Barry, and then the seats have the screen between them. And I pull the screen up.
You have nothing to do with it.
Exactly. Okay. So what you're supposed to do now is you get in the airplane and you sit like this. Like this.
Why?
Because they say it's supposed to be more comfortable.
Doesn't look comfortable.
And it's supposed to be healthier for you.
Okay.
So you sit like this for 5 or 6 hours.
Oh. I'd have a stroke. Okay. How are you feeling right now? And you've been doing it for about 20 seconds. Are you more comfortable than you were before?
No, I'm not more comfortable than I was before. I was much more comfortable before.
The only reason you should sit like that on an airplane is if someone's putting you inside of a suitcase so they don't have to pay for a ticket to fly you somewhere.
How about we'll just sit like that? Here, you do it. Can you do it?
I can't.
Oh, come on. Try.
I can't. No, I'm not even going to try.
Oh, come on.
You look so uncomfortable.
It's horrible. Look, you see my new shoes?
I do. I like your shoes.
Thank you. So anyway, it's a bad idea. It's all baloney. You're not supposed to be holding your knees. It's bad for turbulence. Your seatbelt doesn't really wrap around you. So if you see that TikTok and you're like,
it's just a fake video.
I don't know. People believe anything.
But you're going to start seeing it. People believe everything they see on the internet. And you're going to start seeing people sitting on planes like that.
They say that if there was turbulence, you would just catapult. Right on.
That's hilarious.
It's just that. Have you ever followed any of those accounts that where there are airplane accidents almost?
No.
Oh.
I'm already afraid to fly as it is.
Oh, you should watch
I don't
these.
want evidence.
Oh, this is great. This is where there was a Southwest Airlines that was getting onto the runway. I don't know where this was. Getting onto the runway.
Probably in Cameroon.
And then this big FedEx jet coming in heavy. It's like, whoa. And then the air traffic controller says, Southwest Airlines, go fast.
All these technical terms, go fast.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I'm not going to watch that. I'm actually going to go and block all those accounts. I don't want to accidentally. Now my phone's listening to you. Now that's all I'm going to get is near misses and airlines.
Andrew loves near misses.
Don't listen to her. She's mean.
Speaking of AI, moving along, is that there's this website called Suno. And Suno is going to be a place where you can create all new music. Okay. So what they did is they sucked in all the music from around the world.
Right. Every single song. Copywritten, not copywritten, some 12-year-old singing into a phone in the middle of Cameroon.
It doesn't
They
matter.
got every music file that was long enough to meet their perimeters, which I think was like 6 seconds.
Yes,
they
sucked
got it
on.
off the
Yes,
internet.
they did. And they have this massive library. So then the lawyers come. Did you hear when the lawyers come and they got sued?
But then aren't they arguing that if it's on the internet, it should be free use?
Yeah, they're saying it's fair use because they're not really using the music. They're using the music to create new music.
But the lawyers are arguing is that you are profiting off of copywritten trademark material by using it in your algorithm.
Correct.
So I don't know who's right there. I mean, all you're doing, if you listen to a song and it inspires you to make a song, but it's not an exact copy, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't break any laws.
Seems like they should have paid something for that stuff.
Well, that's the thing too, is that Warner Brothers and all those companies just want to get paid for it. They don't care if they use it. They just want to check.
I wish they would use my music.
Well, you have music?
No, but I could.
Yeah, you definitely could.
I mean, I have a great singing voice.
You've been threatening for years
I know.
to do an album.
I have been.
Threatening is the key word.
No, it's not that bad. It is
Really?
bad. It is bad.
I think it's that bad.
I told you I failed my audition with the Beach Boys.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, she can't sing. Just keep talking, Kim.
And you
That's
want
all we need.
an AI would put that directly in the bad file. Music not to copy.
And finally, speaking of this, I've been trying to play around with AI as far as to create art.
Okay.
I'm good at a lot of things. Okay. But if you notice, if you really ever notice how I dress, I kind of dress like in one color scheme.
Intentionally?
Yes. Because,
Okay.
I'm not good. You're wearing a melon colored shirt with a white t-shirt and tan pants with awful brown socks.
What is wrong with the socks?
And brown shoes. It looks like Sister Margarita would wear in Italy with those shoes on. I don't know where they came from.
Literally the most expensive pair of shoes I've ever purchased.
How much were they?
Like $310.
You got ripped off.
I did now.
You did. You got totally ripped off. So I'm not very artistic.
Okay.
So I've been playing around with it. If you go to meta.ai, and I'm not a big fan of Mark Zuckerberg.
Okay. You don't like any of the billionaires.
Well,
You're
'cause
running them down, one of them at least every week.
I think that they could be doing more with their money, especially like Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, all these people that get their Facebook accounts hacked and all the bad stuff. And
Didn't he pledge like 99% of his net worth to charity once he dies?
him?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's a whole group of them.
I don't know if he's in that group.
Okay. I could be wrong.
I'd rather he spend the money now
All right.
and fix Facebook. Okay.
Protect your users.
Exactly. So, but I was on the Stairmaster at the
Okay.
gym, and this video from Bloomberg popped up about Mark Zuckerberg and Meta and AI, and I decided to just watch a bit of it. And he was talking about he wants Meta AI to be open source, so anybody could use it instead of it closed like Google Gemini and OpenAI. So I thought, you know what? I've never really tried his AI. I should do that. So I sat there and I went to meta.ai, and you have to log in, of course, with your Facebook account so they can track everything that you do,
Right.
or Instagram. But if you haven't done this with your kids, this is fun. Is that you go to the prompt and you type in imagine and just say whatever you want to say after it for the art. Imagine whatever it is. I'll tell you, it is phenomenal.
Wow.
I mean, I said,
I was ready for you to
no,
smash it.
No, it was like, because I wanted to do a meme for the newsletter.
Okay.
And I wanted to create it, so I don't have to worry about anybody like violating anybody's copyright or anything like that.
Now, if you created through their AI, are you violating copyright? You have permission to use that for commercial use?
I think so, because it says imagined with Meta AI. I mean, it's
Okay.
got this big old watermark on it, so it's
Okay.
not like So I said, imagine the Eiffel Tower with a parasite. Okay, and then you just watch it happening. And then I said, imagine and then I said, but now it's a sunset in fall. And then you see it changing. It's not like ChatGPT, like you tell it what to do and like it draws the image.
Right.
This one's happening in real time.
Okay.
And then I said, what do these two things have in common? Put that text there. And then I said, they're both Paris sites.
We gotcha. Okay.
Because that's funny, right? And you didn't laugh.
No, continue with your story.
Okay. So anyway, so it's really phenomenal. So then I'm sitting there, I'm like, Barry, you gotta come in here. So I show him when I get home, and he's like, well, imagine a Piper J Cub.
Right.
And he's like, well, it's not a Piper J Cub. I know it's not a Piper J Cub.
It's got 3 back fins. We all know Piper J Cubs only have 2.
Like, oh my gosh.
Now, is this free? Do you get like coins that you can spend?
No, it's free.
There's no, you could sit there for hours upon hours.
Yeah, and see, Mark Zuckerberg, as I mentioned the kids, is Mark Zuckerberg said he sits there with his girls.
Okay.
And they say, like, imagine a unicorn that's flying on the moon. And
that's really cool.
But I think Weezy would really, she would really.
She loves art. Yeah, this was right up her alley. I definitely want to have her try it.
And so, you can imagine a lot of things, So whatever you want to type in, what do you just like imagine? Imagine the Titanic.
Right?
Imagine the Titanic with a lisp.
What would that be like?
It's unthinkable.
Don't have to imagine it. Kim Komando delivered.
No, that was so funny. Hey, it's Kim Komando Today. It's your fun podcast. I just lost my audio back. Okay. That's okay. Are you ready? Hey, it's Kim Komando Today. It's your fun podcast about all things digital. That would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's when we actually do the podcast live over on youtube.com/Kim Komando, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, which is 2:30 p.m. on the East Coast. And just a quick reminder, this is not the Kim Komando show. That's on how many radio stations? You're on one station.
I am.
That's on
500 plus?
and some odd stations.
So I'm on my way. I'm catching right up.
Okay. Hey, but you're on drive time.
Yeah, morning drive, Monday through Friday.
I am too.
Don't do a weekend show.
I'm on every single day. The Daily Tech Update.
I forgot about those.
The Digital Life Hack.
The minutes, all that
It's
stuff.
everything all goes. So wherever you get your podcast, just search for Komando with a K. So are you a Kitboga fan?
Absolutely. I knew about him well before I came back to work with you.
Really?
Yeah, he's great.
So what do you love about him?
The voice changer. First of all, I love when he breaks. I love when he's talking to a scammer and they are screaming at the top of their lungs, and then he has to mute his own microphone because he's laughing so hard. Those are my favorite parts of his videos.
Well, I mentioned to you that we had some friends in from Lithuania, and he was mentioning that he loved when Kitboga was here with us, and he's like, but the best thing he ever did with the cockroaches.
The cockroaches?
Yeah, the cockroaches in the call center in India.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, we should ask him about that. We will. So if anybody doesn't know who Kitboga is, he's huge, right? How would you define what he does?
He basically scams the scammers. He keeps scammers on, people trying to, get money from you. He keeps them on the phone as long as possible, making them think they are as close as possible to scamming this user, but in the end, it's all fake. And he's built this infrastructure behind the scenes that they log into, and they think they're looking at real banking information and real websites, but it's all built by him, and it's just brilliant. And there's a lot of people online who do this. And he was the first one I ever saw. So I don't know if everybody is copying what he does or he just does it the best.
I think they're copying him.
Because now it's everywhere. There's so many people who do it.
Yeah, but it's like people who try to copy us.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, whatever. It's like, go ahead, try.
A copy is never as good as the original.
No, it's like I was at a radio convention, I don't know, about 10 years ago. And this guy he quit his show, but he was on, I don't know, 12 stations.
Doing a tech podcast or a tech show?
Yeah, he's like 50 stations or something like that. Oh, like infomercials.
Yeah.
And so he comes up to me and he says to me, "Why are you so intimidated by me?" I actually laughed in his face.
Right. Why were you? Why were you so intimidated by him, Kim?
What?
Is it the markets he was in?
Yeah.
Sheboygan?
Blythe. I mean, I wouldn't really want to get Yuma. Actually, we are on Yuma. I love people in Yuma. Anyway, let's talk to Kit. Where's your sunglasses, Kit?
You should see me.
Oh, there
Now
it
you
is.
got me.
We
There
saw
we
an
go.
old. What was that?
What was that old?
Were you trying to scam us with some old AI version of you?
I don't know. I don't know if that was me. I have been playing. Well, it definitely was me, but I have been playing with a lot of AI lately.
It's like,
so
you know,
it could've
Kit when
been
he
that.
was 12. What was that?
What are you doing with AI?
So I am kind of obsessed lately with the idea of automation. There's so many scammers out there, and there's not enough of me.
Okay.
So I've sort of been trying to clone myself and make an AI that could talk to scammers.
Oh, really?
So yes, yeah, we're pretty close. It can now make a phone call.
Oh, really?
And I've trained it. Unfortunately, I haven't a demo. I couldn't demo it right now, but I've trained it on my voices. So it did a 42-minute phone call the other day, and a scammer talked to my AI, and they had no idea.
Now, is
that
that Chris?
No, it's not Chris. The scammer Chris, I think you're speaking about.
Yes.
No, unfortunately.
Well,
But there's so many scammers.
Tell us about Chris.
Yes. So he was an interesting character. I found him, well, he found me rather on Facebook. So I have a character.
I think this will come through, named Edna.
She's an older woman, and I made a Facebook account for her. And within seconds, there were all these scammers messaging me about how beautiful I was, about how they could help me make money. And this particular scammer, who goes by the name of Chris, told me that he was a billionaire.
Ooh.
And that he would help me become a billionaire
No.
if I just invest with his company.
Nice.
So yeah, we got to talking, and he told me that he would help mine oil from the moon, which I'm not convinced is possible.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not a NASA, person, but
you guys don't know. You're not
true.
billionaires like Chris.
That's
Yeah.
Chris has all the money.
Yeah.
He did that research. Him and Musk.
We're just broke. We never get to go to the moon. We don't know what's on there. Dark side of the moon could just
Exactly.
be oil rigs everywhere.
You never know. My favorite part is that he would always qualify it. He'd say, "I'm a billionaire in dollars," just to make sure we knew. But yeah, I told him that I wanted to invest, and we talked for months and months, and it got to the point where he would get on video calls with me. So maybe you saw some of those clips where he was on a video call with me, and then I would make a mistake. Like I would pretend to send money to him, or pretend to, at one point, I think I told him I would invest $500,000 worth of Bitcoin. And I work with Kraken, the crypto exchange. We have a fake Kraken environment. So it looks very real. Chris saw my computer with $500,000 worth of Bitcoin. And when I tried to transfer it to him, I wrote the wrong address. And so he got very, very mad because all of the money went to the wrong spot.
I think we have a clip of this. Right, Mads?
Maybe.
To redeem as many cards as you can. The faster you redeem the cards, the faster you will become rich. If you want a house on the moon, focus on redeeming the cards on your own computer. Don't be stupid, just redeem them.
That's what he told us.
No, Chris never said this to you.
Yes,
He never said you should redeem that.
Yes,
on
he
your own.
did.
No,
This is Chris. I want you to redeem as many cards as you can.
That's Chris, Richard.
Okay.
followed his
Can you listen to me?
Okay, now that is me cloning Chris's voice. So when the little yes. So at one point, this is hopefully not too hard to follow, but at one point the scammer was very frustrated with me, and he decided that he would just pretend to be another person to name Richard, because he thought then he could scam me better. And I had cloned his voice, and so that was me playing it to him, saying, "Well, Chris told me to redeem all the gift cards. Chris told me to waste all the money." And of course, I'm talking to Chris the whole time.
What is the longest you've had someone on the hook? Because you said you were talking to this guy
Months.
about moon oil for months. What's the longest that you've had
That's
someone?
a long, that's a long time. Months.
Yes. Now he thought, not that I'm trying to give him credit, but he thought that I was a multimillionaire. And of course, he's not a multimillionaire. So he was thinking eventually he'll get my millions in dollars, right? But probably there was one scammer that we or 2 or 3 that we've spent over a year talking to, like off and on. Never, not every day, but if they think that I'm a good target, if I convince them I'm an old guy with a bunch of money, then they will spend all day talking to me if I'll let 'em.
I haven't heard about mining for oil on the moon.
It's a new one.
That's a new one. That is a
Yeah,
new
I
one.
think sometimes these scammers will just go along with anything if they think that they can convince you to say something or to give them money. So I might have mentioned, I think I probably brought up Elon Musk or SpaceX or something, and he was
Oh.
like, well, we actually also are doing those things.
We just happen to be doing that. That's it.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
so have you seen any new trends in the scams?
Yeah, well, in the AI world, they're starting to take advantage of it. So they're starting to try to clone people's voices. I've heard reports of them. You know the grandparent scam at all? Are you familiar with?
Yeah, it's like where the scammer calls and said, I'm in jail, grandma,
Yes.
and I need money.
Yes. So they're starting to pull clips of your grandkids from Instagram or Facebook, and they will clone their voice. And so now when they do that scam on you, they can have a clip of your granddaughter saying, hey, grandma, please help me. I need money or whatever, which is so much more convincing if they can actually clone the voice. Yeah, but they're starting to do deep fakes. They're starting to use things like, I heard you talking about Meta.ai.
Mhm.
They use things like that to write better emails or more convincing websites. So that's definitely a big trend, is them using AI. The other one I would say is that they've been shifting into almost like the service industry, if that's the right way to say it. So things like if you want to buy an airline ticket, if you want to book a hotel, if you want a puppy, more recently, if you want to buy a car, there's scammers listing fake. Well, actually, they're real cars, but they don't own them. They're listing cars for sale on legitimate websites, but when you call it, it's a scammer outside of the U.S.
So if it's going through a legitimate website and it's completely a scam, what are the things to look for so that you don't get caught, and how do you protect yourself?
Yeah. So I'm a huge proponent of just being careful in that you know exactly who you're talking to and you ask a lot of questions.
For sure.
But that in this case, this is a new one for me. I've only been investigating it for the past month or two. These scammers that do the car scam are very good. So they know how the car industry works. They get the VINs and they list them on reputable places like Edmunds or Carfax or different places. So you can see there's a used car for sale near me, but when you call the number, it's some guy outside the U.S. And additionally, they will find an old car dealership or an old auto repair shop that doesn't have a website.
For sure.
So if you look it up on Google, you'll
see it.
see an old picture of what looks like a car lot, but then the scammers make the website. So yeah, I'm really big on doing your due diligence, which can be tricky, especially when they're trying to take advantage of that. Like, you got to buy a car, they're offering it at $10,000 below market value, and you're thinking, I got to steal this before someone else does. But if it's too good to be true, or sounds too good to be true, it probably is a scam.
So the whole idea is that you go on here, you see that deal for the car. It's 10 grand less, and you're like, oh man, I've always wanted a Prius. Said nobody. They are the worst drivers in the entire world. I followed one this morning. Like, what is it about a Prius driver? But anyway.
I pray to God he drives a Prius, and you just insulted him.
No, he doesn't. Look at him. He doesn't look like a Prius driver. You look like a Prius driver.
Look like a Prius. I did real quick. I had a call once with one of those car warranty scammers. They thought that I had a Ford F-150. And I strung them along for 3 or 4 hours, and then at the end, I was doing this voice, and then Edna came home and said,
What are you talking about? We don't have a Ford, we have a Prius.
And the guy got very angry. He spent like 3 hours talking to me. So.
That's funny. All right, so you wire transfer the money for the car, obviously,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then you go to pick it up or have it delivered or what? And there's
Yep.
no such thing.
Yeah, the catch here is that they will make excuses about how the car has to be delivered. Because of course, this car isn't on a lot. If you were to go travel to that location, the car's not there. So when I called them a few different times, they would
They're
say
using
things
it
like,
on the moon,
well,
collecting oil with it, and that's why it can't be picked up at the lot.
probably. I could see them saying that. The big one was, yesterday someone bought it, and I shipped it to them without doing all the paperwork, and unfortunately the loan fell through. So it's halfway to Michigan right now. But if you do all the paperwork today and you send the wire and we transfer the title and stuff online, I'll just have them reroute the delivery to your house. And you think, okay, that's a good deal. And they'll say, I'll cover the shipping fees. Don't worry about it. It's my mistake. And it sounds
legit.
very convenient. Yeah.
And
they will send you a title, like a fake title, of course.
This used to happen a lot with the scammers would say that, I'm in the military, I'm being deployed for 2 or 3 years, and I'm not going to need a car. So if you are looking for a car, you can go ahead and buy my car, and it's always a great deal.
Yep. They still, you were talking about Facebook earlier. I too wish that Zuckerberg would fix his platform. There are just millions and millions of scammers on there. But that still happens where someone will reach out to you and like they are dressed in their military gear or something, or like a real buff fireman will just message you out of nowhere and say like,
Edna.
Hi, I would, yes.
Edna, I know that you're 75 and I'm 22, but I think you're hot.
Yes, exactly.
So
it really does happen constantly though. Like we laugh and I laugh because I like to bring, humor into this dark place of scams, but it really is bad. Like the other day, as a joke. So I do some live streams too. I typed in Brad Pitt in Facebook, and I think I scrolled for 10 minutes. I don't think I'm exaggerating. For 10 minutes, all fake Brad Pitt accounts. And of course, these people are reaching out to fans of Brad Pitt or unknowing victims and saying like, hey, honey, I'm, looking to meet some fans, or I'm looking to meet up with some people, and they have no idea. And now with things like AI, they can clone Brad Pitt's voice or deep fake what he looks like. It's really scary.
I mean, he can just reach out and say, Angelina Jolie, oh, she had nothing on you, Edna. I mean, who wants a beautiful woman with, that's just drop dead gorgeous when you can have Edna?
Now, your videos, they are very funny. You do use humor, but your ultimate goal is to bust these scammers. How are you working with authorities, and what kind of information are you giving them that leads to actually putting a stop to this stuff?
Yeah, well, in some cases, it's really hard because of the way things work overseas, or all the red tape and bureaucracy, government stuff. But behind the scenes, I collect as much information as I can. So anytime, like the car dealer guys we were just talking about, I'm looking for that wire transfer information, because if I can get the bank accounts that they're using, we can pass that along to bank fraud or law enforcement and say, pay attention to these bank accounts, look into where the money is coming from and where it's going. They oftentimes are registering legitimate companies, illegitimate companies here in the US. And so law enforcement can look into all of this web and understand how the scammers are acting. So a lot of times it ends up being, if I play the perfect victim, I can get information that the scammers wouldn't want to give up otherwise. If the police called and said, hi, can I please have your bank account? Can I please have your Bitcoin wallet? They would never give it to them.
So when I get the calls on the show, which happens, it seems like every week, somebody's getting scammed for something. A lot of times I say, did you go file a police report? And they said,
Mhm.
and, 9.5 times out of 10, they go, yeah, and they don't care. I mean, it's the local, they just, and there's nothing that they can do. They said, you got scammed. You go to the Internet Crime Complaint Center and see if you can file a report there. Are there any like hidden secrets? Something that if you do get scammed and if you do want help from authorities, that you can use like a secret phrase that would be like, oh yeah, we need to pay attention to this one.
Yeah, I really genuinely wish I could give you that tip, Kim. It's really sad. I know a lot of law enforcement who mean perfectly well, but they're obviously just every day. Like if you get messages every day, I get messages every day, they're getting messages every day, and it just becomes a numbers game. Like it's just not possible for them to get to every single case, and it's terrible. I know they mean well and they're trying. I wish there was a secret. I do know. I will say this: there are, if you do fill out those IC3.gov, the Internet Crime Report things, people do look at them. And there are instances where if you're diligent and you call, even I didn't know this until last year, that the Secret Service actually investigates scams. Wow. So they might even send like someone from the Secret Service to come knock on your door. Of course, if someone calls you and says that they're from the Secret Service, they're lying. As much as I laugh, there's actually this new-ish scam over the past year that is what we call the recovery scam. And they very specifically will find people online who are posting, say, on Twitter or Facebook about being scammed. And then they will reach out to you and say, oh, well, I'm with IC3.gov or I'm with the local sheriff's department and I have recovered your money. And then they scam you again. It's terrible.
It is. It's awful. Well, hey, Kit, thanks for being here. And
thanks for having me.
Telling us about Edna. Okay, wow. Brad Pitt, everything. So the bottom line here, though, is that, you just gotta be smart, right? I mean,
some of this is just common sense.
Yes. I mean, Brad Pitt's not going to reach out to you.
No.
Angelina Jolie's not going to reach out to you.
I mean, odds are she's not. But maybe. Just maybe. No, she's not.
Hey, it's Kim Komando today. We love that you're joining us for this podcast. And if you're getting the audio only version, that's pretty awesome. And if you want to get the video version, go to youtube.com/Kim Komando. And I'm still giving away that $1,000 vacation gift card. So if you have not entered to win, now's the time for you to do it. Go to, you ready?
Yes.
Winfromkim.com.
That's easy.
Winfromkim.com.
So
you know what? We should have told everybody to follow Kit on YouTube.
Yeah, and you didn't even ask him to tell other people to follow you. That
Why
was your
didn't you
whole
remind
plot.
me?
I was waiting for you, and you just abruptly ended the interview. It was going to be my closer. My big
You could have
closer.
just said.
I should have.
When are you like suddenly shy?
I wasn't shy. It was just over. I looked at the screen, right? We were talking about Angelina
now you're
Jolie.
making an excuse. Now you're a victim.
It's a reason. It's not an excuse.
Victim.
And he was gone. I'll have him back on.
I'll have him back on.
How many languages do you know?
Me?
Yeah.
Uno, dos.
Okay, we're up to 2. Have you ever tried to learn a foreign language?
Yes.
And what did you use? What resource?
I used Rosetta Stone.
Okay. And right now I heard a commercial yesterday. You can buy a lifetime membership to Rosetta Stone. Lifetime membership.
Somebody's getting desperate.
So there's this app called Duolingo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? They're doing so well.
Yeah, the profits are up from year to
That
year.
little owl.
Yes, exactly. The little green owl. Well, he's not always green. Depends. It all depends. But it's this language learning app that basically is like a video game. It gives you these little challenges and you can earn rewards. And this huge thing is your streak. How many straight days have you logged in and done your Duolingo lesson?
And streaks are big.
They are. They're especially big for the crowd 35 and under. And that's who they target. But what they also do, which people are becoming more and more aware, is they make you feel awful if you're not using the app.
How?
If you don't do your lesson for a day, you'll start getting these notifications that say, hey, don't let your streak end. It's been 7 straight days. And then 2 hours later, it's like, hey, you need to come and do your streak.
Now.
And then if you miss days, There was one message that popped up that said, like, you haven't even studied long enough to learn the word quitter in Portuguese yet. Get back on here.
Really?
Yes.
Ouch.
So it's a pretty good burn. But they went and they talked to Duolingo about the way they're marketing themselves and the way they handle it. And they said their users are really respond to it and not so much negatively. That this generation, this 35 and under, they don't mind being ribbed. It's the older people that
Don't like it.
get hurt and feel offended that their app is calling them a quitter and saying they're a loser because they haven't logged on and practiced their Spanish.
I would have just laughed if that thing would come up.
Exactly. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But the big thing is it's working. It gets people back on the app. It gets people back watching the ads. It gets people back interacting, engaging, and making them money.
Well, but there are streaks with everything. I mean, I do the New York Times crossword puzzle.
Okay.
If
The big one or the little one?
Oh, just the little one. You know, I've got like undiagnosed ADHD times 4. Okay.
Because I do the mini crossword too.
How long did it take you to do today?
Like 3.5 minutes. I'm not as fast as some people. Some people get it done in like 50 seconds.
Yeah, I think I was like 56 seconds today.
I cannot even read the clues fast enough. I couldn't read all the clues in 56
What
seconds.
you do is you just read it. If you don't know the answer, go to the next one. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Go to the next one.
I'm not worried about my time though. I just want to get it completed.
Oh, see, I like the time.
Now, what's your streak at there?
I don't know. It's kind of a screwed up. Sometimes it says like, oh, you're on your 47th day. And other times like, oh, you're on your 3rd day. And I'm like, well, whatever.
But you care about that number.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Okay. Then the streak doesn't matter.
Okay. And then, when I had a Peloton bike, is that, which I don't want to get on anymore because it just reminds me of being like in COVID land.
Oh,
going on
that
the
makes
Peloton.
sense.
It's
Well,
like,
there's a huge business now that's buying old
oh, yeah,
Pelotons
it's
and
like-
reselling it.
Yeah, like trade up my bike or something like that.
Yeah.
I've got one for sale if anybody wants one. It's the older screen, the one that I had the first Peloton.
Okay.
And the screen's not supported anymore. And they want $350 to buy a new screen. I think they should just give you the new screen.
That's usually a good business model.
No.
Just give it to
They
people.
want $350. So so it's here in the office, and John said he can figure out how to, because John can fix anything.
Right.
So anyway, but when you get on your Peloton, be like, oh, you're not on, you're on your like 89th day. And I was finding myself a little competitive when it got to a certain point, but then I was like, whatever.
But it's not mean to you. It doesn't say, hey, fatty, you haven't been on the bike for 2 straight days.
Hey, fat butt.
Get your big butt back on this
Yes.
bike.
Yeah.
It might have worked for you.
Because not everybody likes big butts. See, they should, that's what it should have said.
So you agree with this type of marketing? This way of
I'd like to try it with our audience.
just belittle them?
Yes.
You didn't watch the podcast on Monday, stupid.
Okay. You want to be tech left behind? Up to you. Up to you.
Well, that is a great slogan, but you're not mean with it. And the bird, the little birdie icon, it changes colors depending on how mad it is at you for not using the app. And there's a whole meme on the internet of the owl coming to attack you if your streak ends.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is huge, but it's working for them. They're making a ton of money.
You know what? If it's working for them, good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. I mean, I got a joke for you.
Oh, good.
You ready?
I'm absolutely ready. Prepared.
What language does male tea bags speak? You ready for it?
Which is male tea bags?
Yes.
Like the actual tea bag?
Yeah,
you
what do they
put in
speak?
I have no idea.
No idea? Oh, you're gonna laugh so hard when I give you the punchline. You're gonna be like, I am gonna tell this to everybody I know.
Does it have something to do with balls?
Balls?
Well, a tea bag, never mind. You probably don't understand that term.
No. I understand bags. Hebrews.
That's why it has to be male. It's awful.
That was bad. Hey, it's Kim Komando Today. If you laughed at one of my jokes,
You are a lucky one. You're one of the few, the proud, the brave.
Okay. And so right now, I just want everybody who just thinks I'm so funny
Yeah, sure. Okay, we can run with that.
is go to youtube.com/Kim Komando and leave a comment. Just drop a comment. I mean, it's nice. It's fun.
Yeah, follow the page too.
You know?
You'll know exactly when we start every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
And just subscribe. And that, by the way, somebody sent me a note said, well, if I subscribe, Kim Komando, is that going to be another monthly charge on my credit card?
If you want to pay it, sure.
But you don't have to.
No, it's free. It's YouTube.
free. All right, so the Olympics.
Yeah, are you watching the Olympics?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm not a big Olympic. I mean, well, let me tell you what I did watch because I thought it was so funny. The shooting match with the guy from Turkey.
Oh,
I mean, everybody else has all the garb on.
and he's just like bang, bang, bang.
Exactly. Stands there with his turkey shirt on.
They're wearing these like futuristic helmets where one eye is covered and the other eye has this huge
He
thing.
just stands there and goes,
Right.
boom.
And he's great.
Yes.
So if you were watching that on streaming service through Peacock,
Yes.
you would notice that Google's Gemini is playing an ad
Okay.
at nauseum. Every
Oh,
single
really?
commercial break. But you won't see it anymore because they've pulled it. The ads for Gemini.
I think we have the ad.
Oh, do we have it?
My little girl's always been a runner, just like me. I've always thought she was following in my footsteps. Hey, go get her, baby. But lately, she's been looking up to someone else. She might even be the world's #1 Sydney fan. And like Sydney, she's focused on her technique. Good job, baby. Accelerate out the curb. High knees. There you go. She wants to show Sydney some love, and I'm pretty good with words, but this has to be just right. So Gemini, help my daughter write a letter telling Sydney how inspiring she is. And be sure to mention that my daughter plans on breaking her world record one day. She says, sorry, not sorry.
Okay.
So I've seen that ad about 650,000 times.
And one.
Yes. And Google says they tested it and it had good opinions. And so that's why they ran with it as their ad. But the minute they started running it, again at nauseum, people started to complain because you should not be encouraging a little girl to write a letter to her hero through AI. She should be authentic and genuine and write the letter herself. It would mean more to the Olympian, Sydney, that she was sending the letter to. And then there was this huge backlash online, and Google was like, you got it. And they pulled the ad. It is no longer airing during the Olympics.
Tech companies don't have like good luck with these. Remember it was like Apple came out and said, we don't need artists anymore. Forget it.
Exactly. 2 days later, they pulled the ad. People are adverse to AI and the fact of AI taking the place of emotional things that human does. An artist,
Yes.
a letter to a fan. Those are emotional things. If it's going to go ahead and categorize my recipes, that's fine. That's menial. But the emotional things, and the internet exploded at this. They were really mad.
What do you think?
I do understand their point. When I saw it the first time, I had no reaction to it at all. I understood what they were saying. I actually thought it was a sweet story about him talking
nice.
about his daughter.
Right.
And when it got to the Google AI part of it, I tuned out anyway. Every single time that I saw it. But I didn't have any, but I'm also not, I don't have the personality type where if I did see something like that and I thought I wouldn't run to the internet to complain about it. I just mumble it under my breath while I'm
That's
folding my
stupid.
clothes
Yeah.
and then move on with my life.
Exactly. Me too. Yeah, that's dumb. Why would you even think of that?
But Google responded and they have pulled the ad so you won't see it anymore.
Well, I can see both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just talking to Amber this morning about we are hiring some marketing folks and some writers, and people are taking their writing test at home. And I said, well, I don't know if that's such a good idea,
Right.
Because we don't really know if they're writing.
You know, ChatGPT, they actually came out this weekend and said they have software that you can run anything through. And with 99.9% accuracy, they can tell you if it was written by AI.
Really?
But they're not releasing it.
Why not?
I guess they don't want people to find out how much AI people are using. But if you had that tool, then you wouldn't care because you'd just be able to run
That's true.
their writing test through this software.
That is something.
Now, how much does it matter when it comes to a writer if they write it and then they have ChatGPT, I don't know, punch it up if that's the right
I'm
term.
good with that.
You're fine with that.
But I want the person to have basic writing skills and some talent,
Right.
instead of just like going to chat saying, I need an iPhone tip, or
Right.
whatever it may be.
How do you tell then? How are you going to be able to tell it as
I can tell.
Oh, God, apologize. I don't even know why I asked.
No,
She can tell.
No, I can tell.
What are the key points? What are the things that...
It's because our writing is different.
Okay.
It's very personalized. I mean, if you read the newsletter, it's written specifically so that you feel me talking to you.
Right.
I mean, that you can't get from a chat GPT.
But everyone else that's writing for the newsletter has to learn how to be Kim?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's where the difference is. But speaking of the Olympics, I'm going to leave you with this one.
Okay. It was a seamless transition, so we know a joke is not on its way.
I hate you. So speaking of the Olympics,
Right.
that do you know how they get the horses over there?
I don't know how they get the horses over there.
This is
to
not
the
a joke.
Olympics.
They have it's called Air Horse One.
What?
Yeah.
They put them all on a plane?
Yes. And I put a picture of it inside the newsletter the other day because I thought that was so interesting. Like, how did they get the horses there?
I would think boat. I don't know why I think you can't
No.
put a horse on a plane.
No, you should see. Like the whole plane is just like horse.
I would hate to be a flight attendant on that.
Hey, anyone? Hey, that was a good one.
It was.
All right.
Just end on that one.
Okay.
That was a legitimately good joke.
So should I give him my
No,
crappy
don't
jokes?
do the other one. All right, fine. Go ahead. Speaking of the Olympics,
I was in the sun tanning competition
were you?
and I got bronze.
I like that one.
All right, there you go.
That's good.
All right, folks, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. And we'll see you again on Wednesday.
Yay.
And until then, drop a comment, tell a friend,
Share this podcast.
share this podcast,
Subscribe.
subscribe.
Yeah, we did them all. That's all of them.
Follow.
Just do all those.
I don't know. Send us money.
You don't have to go that far.